This morning, embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs will remain behind bars on charges that include trafficking and racketeering conspiracy after a second judge overseeing his federal criminal case denied him bond once again.
Sean Diddy Combs ordered to stay behind bars. His lawyers offered up his Miami home, his mother's home, as well as collateral. Also, he would forfeit his passport, but it wasn't enough to keep him out of jail until trial.
Diddy thought he'd be waiting for his trial as a free man, but the judge in the case had different plans. Matter of fact, Diddy was denied bond twice. Now, we're seeing Diddy slowly crumbling behind bars, and there's nothing he can do about it. Surprise. Surprise? Diddy thought he had this whole thing under control, but that all changed when the judge shut down his bail request. Now he's stuck behind bars and losing it as his trial heats up. The vibe? Anxious and uneasy. And to make things worse, none of his close associates are stepping up to back him. Not Jay-Z, not Clive Davis, and not Usher. After the judge's latest bail denial, Diddy's been left to face the reality of jail time, which he probably never pictured even in his wildest dreams. Sources say he's sweating bullets, worrying about how a longer sentence could tank his reputation and career. Right now, Diddy's hoping his third bail appeal gets through, with the decision resting in the hands of a three-judge panel. He was back in court last Thursday with his trafficking trial around the corner, and his lawyers are trying hard to block some key evidence that could damage his case.
Trying to get out of jail, you know that he has been turned down twice to get out on bail, and he is being held in Brooklyn and will be there until the trial begins.
The drama kicked up even more when Circuit Judge William J. Nardini denied Diddy's immediate release request last Friday, keeping him stuck in Brooklyn's MDC jail, a place known for its brutal conditions. In case you're just catching up, Diddy's been in federal custody since September 16th.
Watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach.
He's facing serious charges for allegedly using his fame to lure women into wild, drugged-out scenes involving male workers, what he called freak-offs. He's pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking, but the accusations are heavy that he coerced and abused women over the years with threats of blackmail, violence, and even kidnapping. Now, Diddy's case caused a lot of courtroom drama. His lawyers aren't just working on proving him innocent, they're also trying to show he's not a threat. Judge Andrew L. Carter Jr., who later stepped down from the case, thought otherwise, saying Diddy was a danger to the community. Apparently, no amount of security could stop him from possibly interfering with witnesses or the investigation. Diddy's team fired back, saying the judge went too far and kept him in jail for speculative reasons. They even pointed out that Diddy's a 54-year-old dad of 7, one of the most famous faces on the planet, so he's hardly a flight risk. During a recent hearing, with Diddy sitting there in his jumpsuit, the new judge, Aaron Subramanian, hinted he might consider a bail discussion later. For now, he set Diddy's trial date for May 5th, next year. Meanwhile, Diddy's lawyers are holding out, saying he's making the best of his time at the notoriously rough MDC jail. Outside, one of Diddy's lawyers, Mark Agnifilo, told reporters that Diddy's doing fine, but added that no one's happy about being in jail. Another lawyer, Alexandra Shapiro, recently filed a motion pushing for his pretrial release and arguing that this case is extreme, but it shouldn't mean he has to stay locked up while fighting to defend himself. And if you think it stops there, think again. Just this week, a new lawsuit hit Diddy with serious accusations. This latest case claims he drugged and assaulted a 13-year-old girl back in 2000 at an after-party following the MTV VMAs. According to the lawsuit, after a drink, the victim felt dizzy and was assaulted by Diddy and others. Now living in Alabama, she says that night left her with lifelong trauma and depression. Social media is lit, with everyone questioning why a 13-year-old would even be at one of these parties and why no one stepped in. All the people surrounding him are now getting blamed as well. One comment wrote, "He did not victimize over 3,000 people without a lot of help." And another person said, "All names should be revealed." Well, it seems like one man was paying attention to what the people want: Tony Busby. The Busby law firm, representing the 13-year-old plaintiff, isn't holding back either. They apparently have over 120 cases ready to be filed against him, with 5 new ones already in the works.
We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all.
Things are getting out of hand, and fans are starting to believe the buzz that Diddy might have exploited young stars like Justin Bieber and Usher back when they were minors. Diddy's legal team quickly fired back, denying every accusation and saying he's confident the truth will clear his name in court. They even request a gag order for his trial, but that was shut down too. His legal team wanted one in order to keep the officials from leaking info to the press, but Judge Aaron Subramanian rejected that, saying that while there's no proof anything's been leaked yet, everyone involved still needs to keep grand jury details under wraps. The judge did agree to an order making sure federal agents, investigators, and Diddy's team stick to the rules and avoid leaks. In the court docs, Judge Subramanian clarified that the order isn't a sign of any wrongdoing so far. It's just meant to keep things fair moving forward. He also warned that any rule violations would be met with consequences. Diddy's attorneys were afraid that the media frenzy could mess with his right to a fair trial. In their eyes, Diddy deserves a trial free from biased media coverage, pointing out that high-profile cases like this can quickly turn into a media circus, which puts Diddy at risk of prejudice. We've seen something similar to this happen with the YNW Melly case this year, but this time it looks like he might finally realize he can't just talk his way out of it. The thought of spending years, maybe even decades locked up must be crushing him, and it might be why he broke down in court. For someone who's lived large, being in one of the country's worst detention centers is the ultimate nightmare. Now, in MDC jail, Diddy's dealing with some of the roughest conditions imaginable. There's barely any hygiene. Showers are rare, cells are freezing in the winter, scorching in the summer, and power cuts leave the place pitch black for days. Imagine being trapped in a cold cell with just a thin blanket, shivering on a concrete floor. Plus, it's overcrowded, with zero privacy and barely any room to move, and that's got to feel like pure suffocation for someone used to sprawling mansions. Right now, Diddy's in solitary confinement in a 6x9 cell in the special housing unit where they keep high-risk inmates. He spends 23 hours a day in a cell that's smaller than most closets, with only a steel toilet sink combo, a tiny desk, and a thin mattress. It's far from the life of luxury he once knew. No mansion here, just a single blanket, one uniform, and a few commissary items. He wasn't shackled in court, but that prison jumpsuit was a stark reminder of just how much his life has changed. Being in solitary, he only gets an hour outside his cell, and even then, it's just a small enclosed yard with no real contact with anyone but the guards. People are saying Diddy's looking out for his last glimpse of sunlight, and it's clear freedom is priceless. If he's found guilty, Diddy could be facing a life sentence. That's a dark thought, and the odds don't look great for him. Recently, we had Shine, someone who used to be close to Diddy, come out and call things as they are. He wasn't holding it back when he said Diddy ruined his life. Maybe that's why he deserves to be behind bars until his trial. Shine used to be his protege, but Diddy set him up to be the fall guy for that nightclub shooting back in 1999, where they both got caught up. Only Shine ended up serving time. In his new documentary, The Honorable Shine opens up about how hard it was watching everyone else, especially Diddy, go on to succeed while he paid the price. The doc gives a deep dive into his journey through music, politics, and how he ended up leading the opposition in Belize's House of Representatives. The timing of Shine's story is interesting too. It's like payback to Diddy, given that Shine used this wave of accusations against him. Shine does say that signing with Bad Boy changed his life and made him a millionaire, but that success was short-lived when he got convicted, and Diddy walked free in one of hip-hop's biggest criminal trials of the time. Shine Shine was caught up in a Manhattan nightclub shooting where 3 people were injured. They were hanging out, ready to leave, and that's when shots suddenly went off. Afterward, both he, Diddy, and J-Lo were arrested. Charges against J-Lo got dropped, but Diddy was later acquitted. Meanwhile, Shine took the hit, got sentenced to 10 years, and was eventually deported to Belize. Today, he's in politics, making big moves in Belize, and talks in the film about how he transitioned into his role. And Shine did his time, got out, and made a name for himself. He did not let this situation determine the rest of his life in a negative way. As for Diddy, it seems like his time is up. It was long overdue too, according to all of his victims and all the people who suffered because of him. Let's not forget, his name is also mentioned a lot when we talk about losing people. Kim Porter, Biggie, Pac, the list goes on. But what do you think about Diddy's breakdown? And do you think there's a way that he'll ever walk out of jail before his trial? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you think.